This episode of the PlayStation Forecast is brought to you by Studio.com. Go to Studio.com and enter keyword PlayStation or click the link in the episode description on both your audio and video format for 15% off your order and free worldwide shipping. What is up, everybody, and welcome to the PlayStation Forecast, Episode 9! We've made it this far. I am your host, Alex Derrickson, and I hope, since we've last spoke, you and your family and your friends and your pet, whether it's a lizard or a fish or a dog or a cat, I hope everyone is doing well. If not, hang in there. It gets better. Life is just a series of eventless events strung together. Let's not get there. I'm doing well. Things are going okay. Found some time to play some games, which has been kind of nice. Spent some time. So we'll just go. I've started a new series. It's Mondays 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube at this very fine station where you're watching this right now, or if you're listening, where you can easily go by clicking the link in the description of the episode on your podcast service, and you can check it out every Monday 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time is Monday morning Let's Plays. I've got about 4 in the chamber right now, so we're good until mid-June with them. But the first one was Rogue Aces from Infinite State Games. It was published by Curve Digital. So basically what the series is I'll take 15, 20 minutes each Monday and kind of play through a game that I'm really into at that moment, or a game that I think deserves more eyes on, whatever. Something just to kind of help out these indie developers, because as I've said before, I'm just a guy in Ohio doing a show in an extra bedroom in a house. So, I want to support and give back to the people that have supported me. And that includes all of you who listen and watch this every single week. It means a lot to me, and I want to make more content because I don't know. I appreciate it, and I appreciate you all, and I appreciate the dev teams and the publishers that have, helped me out as I get this started. But so be on the lookout for that. In terms of what else I've been playing, I'd mentioned it a couple weeks ago, I think like episode 2, maybe. The Adventure Pals from Massive Monster. It's a 2D kind of action, side-scrolling, like, not a brawler or a beat-em-up, a pretty traditional, like, 2D action platformer. It's adorable. Like, I love, like, the colors are super vibrant and really bright. It's kind of Adventure Timey in a way, which is right up my alley. There's a lot to enjoy, and the humor is really rich. It's very childish in nature, I guess. But my big gripe that I could see myself as I spend more time with it is I have a feeling it's going to get a little samey. That I think, I don't know if it's going to be once you play a world, you've played all of them. I've only done maybe a half hour, 45 minutes in the game so far, but I could kind of see where there's going to be some sameness going on. Probably, I wouldn't say frequently, but level to level, I could see it not having a lot of fresh takes as the game progresses. Another thing, I had mentioned this last week, and so I reached out to the publisher of Walden a Game, the game where you play as Henry David Thoreau at Walden Pond, where he lives out the rest of his days in the woods. And they were kind enough to send me a code to try it out. There'll be a let's play of that later on in the Monday morning series. You'll probably see it mid-June, but you'll see me struggle with a hammer a lot for most of it. But it's I tweeted about it as shortly after I got finished playing with it, and I had said that it's beautifully simple, it's incredibly peaceful, and its simplicity is really where I think it hangs its hat, and there's so much love for the source material of just Walden Pond and that history and the time that Thoreau spent there, where like I had said when I read about it in that PlayStation blog entry, right, that they went to Walden Pond every season to make sure they got like the aesthetics of it correctly, how like the snow worked and how like where like how everything looked and everything like that, but also that all of the sounds were recorded straight from, on location. So like the crickets you hear, the way the grass sounds when you walk through it, or the way like different things said, the way the birds sound and everything, like I said, the crickets around you, things like that. That's all recorded on site, like on location at Walden Pond. So there's just that very like true faithfulness into what it is. If something like gun to my head, I'd say it's Firewatch without the story. And I know some people's complaints about Firewatch was the story. It doesn't have like, excuse me, it doesn't have like that art style that Firewatch had. It doesn't rely heavily on like those like west of the Mississippi, mountainous like colorscapes that we see. But it's in terms of its sound design, its peacefulness, it's Firewatch without the motive. It's Firewatch without that hey, keep going forward. This is literally just a live your life in the woods simulator. It's Minecraft without the stress. I spent a bunch of time building my house, and then as I built my house, I started losing color in the world. And so I had to go and like read books outside and walk around the pond, take a look at nature, examine the plants, and you get that color back. And it's finding that balance between working and really experiencing what you're trying to do. And so it's just an interesting take. A lot of people will just call it, I wouldn't even put it as like the walking simulator, genre. It's just a life simulator where you live in the woods. It's super quaint. Like I said, it's a game between games, kind of like how I said about like Rogue Aces and a lot of the other stuff I really like Windjammers and Rocket League. It's not going to be something that I'm going to be like, oh, I can't wait to go back home and, sink 3-4 hours into Walden the game. But if I've got some time to kill and I just kind of want that break from a game, like once I eventually get back into God of War, when I finally get into Detroit or something like that, when I'm kind of between games, I just want like a little palate cleanser of sorts. Walden is on that list now. The other thing is, and we'll get into it into the drop, but Stardew Valley is out on PlayStation Vita, and if you got it on PS4 already, it is free for cross-buy. So my life is effectively over as I now have Stardew Valley on the go, and I see myself losing a lot of time in my life to Stardew Valley, but I have not played it, so I'm really excited. I got it on PS4 knowing that the Vita version was coming soon, so I'm really excited to kind of have like a game to take with me on like my bus rides to work and back home and stuff like that. So really excited to finally hear what all learn what all the buzz was about a few years ago. Other than that, yeah, thank you all for subscribing. This is the PlayStation Forecast, and it does come to you each and every Tuesday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube.com and podcast services around the globe. And if you want to support the show, the best thing you can do is on your podcast service of choice, click the subscribe button. But specifically, if you're an iTunes or Apple Podcast user, not only do I need you to click subscribe, can you click those 5 stars and leave me a real handsome review? I like waking up to them. Somebody left me a real nice review about my hair, and I text the woman that cuts my hair, and I was like, look, your haircut has an iTunes review, and she was really excited. So you're helping more than just me, You're brightening the lives of those around me that, and that's, thank you. The best, if you want your opinion heard, you can write into the show at psforums.pressxtoalex.com with any questions, comments, concerns, or other news stories you want to see me discuss. Or if you have a dissenting opinion, please submit it, because this is just my voice talking, and I want the other side of this conversation. This is your way of getting involved. If you listen to it and you watch every week, you may as well get heard week in and week out too. psforums.pressxtoalex.com. Other than that, housekeeping, like I said, Monday morning Let's Play every single Monday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on bit.ly/pressxyt or youtube.pressxtoalex.com. Whatever gets you there, or you can click the link in the episode description on your podcast service. So, yeah, I'm still chasing that short URL, so subscribe, help me out. Thank you all so much. Like I said, 9 weeks in, couldn't do this without you. But this episode is also brought to you by Sudio.com, but I will get there when I get there. But without further ado, hey, let's get into the news. So first, I've been saying this a lot, right? I think as the closer we get to E3, this is going to be kind of a reoccurring theme in that there's not a lot of news, but there's a lot to unpack within the news. So let's get into it. This comes by way of Kotaku, as Sony is ending the physical production of Vita games in North America. Sony is ending physical production of Vita games, Kotaku has learned. Although the hardware manufacturer says digital distribution will continue, this move will mark the end of physical cards for the maligned portable game system. Sony's American and European branches, quote, plan to end all Vita game card production by close of fiscal year 2018, end quote, the company told developers today in a message obtained by Kotaku. The message asks that all Vita product code requests be submitted by June 28th, 2018, and that final purchase orders be entered by February 15th, 2019. Sony's 2018 fiscal year will end March 31st of 2019. In an email to Kotaku, a Sony spokesperson confirmed that Vita card production is coming to an end. It's been a long, strange life for the PlayStation Vita, a system that launched here in 2012 with the slogan console gaming on the go, but quickly lost ground to mobile and tablet gaming, along with the surge of Nintendo's 3DS. Sony's baffling decision to only support its expensive proprietary memory cards made their system pricier than it needed to be, and big studios quickly dropped support. Although the system remained consistently popular in Japan, Sony's North American and European branches all but ignored it after its first 2 years on the market, and it has been floundering ever since. The Vita has become a treasure trove for JRPGs, niche Japanese titles, and indie games, although that mantle has since been seized by Nintendo's mega popular Switch. Now we're a step closer to saying goodbye. It's sad, especially like someone that I got to the Vita late. I just got mine, a year and a half at most ago, and but I mean, there's nothing too shocked there. You've heard it before, probably from other podcasts, and I'm no different. The Vita is a tale of two Sonys, where it launched after the "It Only Does Everything" campaign with the PS3, where you're starting to kind of see like old Sony come back, but also like pre the voice that they had at the PlayStation 4 launch and reveal. So there's a lot of things that the Vita did well, like visual novels, your indie titles, and it has a good bevy of games to it. And if you're looking for a good or great handheld system, the Vita is there and is ripe for the taking. Especially if you're looking for a digital a digital console, like one with like a kind of a deeper digital library than it does a physical one. As the article stated by Kotaku, the proprietary memory cards killed it. I think launching a Wi-Fi one and a Wi-Fi 3G one where you needed a separate AT&T subscription didn't help. And then the back touch and the front-facing camera and the front touch. If they had just abandoned all of that and kind of stepped away from the gimmicks, remapped the UI when the PS4 came out, and kind of made it more similar, as opposed to trying to stand on its own thing with the bubbles and all that noise, I think you would have maybe found a better home within the North American markets. The one thing that the article doesn't state is that the physical game card production is not stopping in Japan. This is just North America and Europe right now. Because I mean, it's still doing well out in Japan, but like I said, we're kind of reaching the death rattle of the Vita, especially when the physical game production the ceasing of that butts up with the ending of support for PS Vita and PS3 games on PlayStation Plus. It's all coming around the same time, so it's not a surprise to see the Vita starting to sunset. It's just sad, especially for those like me who got to it a little too late, but I had racked up a pretty good game library from the PlayStation Plus collections that the free games every month. So by the time I had gotten one, I had 30, 40 games waiting for me. But still sad to see, because that is a great system that just never really got its legs under it. It stumbled out of the gate and then just floundered, and then kind of not too dissimilar from the Move. A couple years later, it's just like, we've moved on from it, and there's still stuff for it if you like it. How this is going to impact a company like Limited Run Games come March remains to be seen. That's kind of the one thing I'm concerned about, just because they're known for making these niche-y Vita game releases and in a limited physical media. So, and they just got their Switch license and stuff like that too, to be able to distribute Switch games and everything. So I think they'll be fine, but the Vita market was kind of this like bread and butter for them, not really their moneymaker too, in a way. So saying goodbye to the Vita is sad, but it's all kind of aligning with the 2019 ending of PlayStation Plus supporting it and the like. So if you're one of those people that want every physical copy, for a specific system. One, the Vita's probably pretty easy to do, minus the limited run series. And two, do it now before that shit gets hard to find, because those prices you're going to start seeing go up and up and up, as you know, especially now that it's out, that there's not going to be any more being made after the final orders are placed. So you want to get in before the scarcity starts growing, right? So if that's your thing, if you're looking to have a complete Vita collection, now is the time to really pick up on that and get going to round out any holes you may have. But just a sad day. I don't know. I'd like to see like a Vita 2. What this means for Sony, later in the handheld market with the success of the Switch, I don't know if we'll see if PlayStation 5 is going to be this VR plus home console plus handheld, kind of deal. I don't know. I don't know if they're going to ape a lot from Nintendo, because the last time they aped anything from Nintendo, it was the Move and the handheld markets. And look where we're at. Look what we're talking about. The Move has been repurposed for VR, and the Vita is getting sunsetted. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see if they'll attempt a third iteration of a handheld console, because I think the Vita did a lot of things right. It was just the proprietary software and stumbling out the gate with the message, and really not having the fortification of a good lineup at jump to go up against the Titan that was the DS, the DS Lite, the 3DS, and what have yous. Because I mean, in my lifetime, I've had a DS Lite, and I vacillated on two different 3DSs. I traded one in, and then I was like, I missed the 3DS, and I bought it again. And in my time with the DS Lite, I loved that thing so much. But the 3DS, just there wasn't anything on it for me, and that's not to say there's not great games for it. It was just nothing that struck a chord with me the way what I saw in the Vita. So I had traded in my 3DS, and I traded in my Wii U. Basically, the Wii U was almost a 1-to-1 deal for the Vita, so I came out on the winning end of that one, I feel like. But in terms of the hours I've spent on the Vita compared to the 3DS, it is incomparable. Like, it's double digit times the amount of hours I've spent playing my Vita. There's just more games on it for me. And so, like I said, I wish I got to it earlier, but I also don't know if I would have got, if any earlier would have been a better time for me, as I've talked so often about how I fell in and out of games, and the handheld market wasn't really conducive for something that I was gonna pull me back in or anything either. Like, I had Pokemon Y for my 3DS, and that was literally the only game for it besides the built-in game where you had the check-ins and you got the hats. Uh, but yeah, sad to see, but not wholly surprising. But it's kind of seeing that the days are numbered in terms of physical production for Vita games. So get while the getting's good. On the topic of things ending, Best Buy is stopping the Gamers Club, or has stopped really, the Gamers Club Unlocked membership. This comes by way of Destructoid. For quite some time, retail giant Best Buy has offered a yearly program called Gamers Club Unlocked to its customers. While there was a lot of good features about the program, the biggest incentive to sign up was the 20% discount on new games. If you were a fan of buying physical copies and at launch, GCU was a no-brainer. Rumors began circulating online yesterday that Best Buy had canceled the program. Sadly, that is true. No official statement exists to prove this, but asking at your local Best Buy can confirm as much. During an outing to catch some Charmanders in Pokemon Go today, the writer of the article, not me, I don't Pokemon Go. I stopped by Best Buy and asked the clerk and their customer service desk if the rumors were true. She told me that Best Buy sent out an internal notice to employees about the service ending 2 days ago, May 17th, 2018. No reason was given for why, though anyone signed up will be able to keep their subscription for as long as they have left. Destructoid's own CJ also confirmed the rumors at his local Best Buy. To clarify, I live on the East Coast, CJ's on the West, so this doesn't seem to be a region-specific thing. And at the time of writing, you can still access details about the program on Best Buy's official website, but you won't be able to sign up or renew your subscription. This is just a week of losses, We're just taking it on the chin, us Vita and Gamers Club Unlocked members. So I'm losing twofold on this thing. I'm gonna miss that. Like, I don't know from from a business standpoint, I do not know how they even profited on that thing. You're basically selling new title from coming from someone that worked in gaming retail for as long as I did. You're selling new games at either cost or at a loss with the 20% discount. And then you had some trade deals and some pre-owned deals, but the biggest incentive was the 20% off new games, especially at launch with the physical copies. I milked that thing as much as I could, especially for $30 for 2 years. Like that thing was a steal. I did try to go and see if I could renew it real fast, but if you go click renew, it redirects to an error page. So that is, since I mean, like I can confirm from my own personal standpoint that that is in fact true. It's a bummer. Like I know I've got a year and some change, like a year and a couple months left on mine. And now I'm just like, I should have renewed that countless amounts of times over and over and over again. It's a shame. For me personally, and I think a lot of people who are using Gamers Club Unlocked did it, one, for the 20% off, and two, because it was 20% off like any new game. There were no restrictions like how Amazon's slowly implemented time over time, because Amazon used to be pre-orders and the first 2 weeks at launch. Now it's just pre-orders, and now I think it's changed again because it's been so long. Like I moved to GCU to get away from Amazon constantly renegotiating the terms, like their Darth Vader with Boba Fett and and what have you. It sucks because I don't want to go back to Amazon to buy my games. I started having some problems with them getting stuff on time or even remotely in a timely manner at all. And then the discount policies kept changing, and they seem to start really lacking consistency. And they were probably doing it for the same reasons Best Buy is just shuttering a whole membership program, is because like it wasn't conducive to financial success as a business. But just from a consumer standpoint, it fucking sucks to lose something like GCU. Because I mean, like even GameStop doesn't have anything comparable aside from discounts on pre-owned products, even with the Pro Elite membership squared or whatever the Diamond Club card is. That's still pre-owned games, because they don't want to take the loss on new product, and you can't blame them. It just sucks, I've got Spider-Man coming right now, tentatively the special collector's box edition, just because I don't know what the resale value on that's gonna be, and 20% off of that wasn't bad. So that's kind of, I'm in a holding pattern on that. I don't know if I'm gonna still bite it, still have that shipped to me or whatever. I may go back to just the regular edition. It just sucks, especially as crowded as these release libraries, or as these release schedules get, rather. It was nice to kind of have that built-in 20%, cut to not have to worry about. So if it was like, oh, a game's $60, it's like, it's 48 and some change, and that's not bad. You get a couple gift cards and you're covered, right? Like 20% was a good dent and a new game cost. And even on like, the cheaper games, when they went $20, $40, it was still, it was 20% off of that. You always knew, it at least always felt like you were getting a good deal. And the fact that it worked on collector's editions or special editions and stuff like that. Wished it worked on digital, but can't win them all, clearly, as we're losing twice now. But sad to see it go. Again, not surprised at all. I'm surprised it's lasted as long as it did. I kind of feel like somebody caught on. I feel like I was part of like some secret deals club, and somebody caught on, like somebody ratted to their dad, and he's like, well, we gotta put a stop to this. But it sucks. Sad to see it go. Sad to see it go like so like effective immediately, just like, well, bam, it's gone. And once it's done, once yours is done, it's done. So props to those that kept renewing, like just senselessly. It's a bummer, but that's where we're at. I gotta find another way to get my games, because I really don't want to do Amazon. Next one's a bit longer. This comes by way of the PlayStation blog. Had some game reveals here. I had one that came across the wire pretty late. I'll get to that one between this one and what's coming up. But there was a big old fat Kingdom Hearts 3 reveal. A little press party deal. This comes by way of the PlayStation blog. Tetsuya Nomura, director of Kingdom Hearts 3, said in a presentation preceding yesterday's hands-on session that the theme of the game is, quote, resolution, specifically that of the ongoing battle against main series antagonist Xehanort. Okay. I love Disney, and I've dabbled in the Kingdom Hearts, mainly just the first one. I usually get, I've played this over the PS2 multiple times, and I always get to Tarzan and I stop. I have the HD, like complete minus 2.8 collection, just kind of waiting. It's just, I tweeted that, and then I'll get back into the news here, but I tweeted that the coolest thing about the Kingdom Hearts 3 reveal is knowing that I have the Kingdom Hearts HD, collection on my PS4 and that I'll never play it. Hope to. We'll see. Uh, Anyways, picking up where we left off. He also alluded to a darker overall theme than we saw in the earlier titles, foreshadowed in events that take place in the mobile game Kingdom Hearts Union Cross. It's not hard to imagine what kinds of darkness might manifest throughout the course of Kingdom Hearts 3's story, but my time with the game yesterday was mostly a delightful, enthralling affair. The first world I dove into was Olympus, based on 1997's animated Hercules film. The scale of this encounter went far beyond the heights of the Kingdom Hearts I remember, beginning with Sora running straight up a vertical cliff face, dodging and bounding across boulders a gargantuan rock titan flung downward at me. Once I reached the behemoth, I attacked its legs to stagger it before dashing up its body to land a series of direct hits on its head, culminating in an ultimate attack by way of one of the game's many, quote, attractions. Impressive attacks based on rides you might find at your favorite theme park, or my favorite one at least. This attraction was called Big Magic Mountain, and it saw Sora and pals careen around the towering titan aboard a glittering, magical Big Thunder Mountain Railroad-esque train before culminating in a final, incredible, flashy finishing move. That sounds fucking awesome. Big Magic Mountain wasn't the only attraction on display in the demo. I saw mad teacups, a swinging pirate ship, even one seemingly based on Buzz Lightyear's Astro Blasters, and they're all decked out with a beautiful, sparkling Main Street electrical parade motif. Yes, just times 1,000. Moment-to-moment combat will be instantly familiar to longtime series fans, with up and down on the D-pad selecting menu items at X executing them. Holding L1 pulls up a quick shortcut menu handy for flinging quick magic spells without having to drill into the menu first. And a new addition for Kingdom Hearts 3, pressing left and right on the D-pad switches between different keyblades on the fly, each with their own combos and special attacks. It wouldn't be Kingdom Hearts without Disney's most famous characters fighting at your side, and Kingdom Hearts 3 continues this proud tradition with a selection of extravagant team-up attacks starring famous faces like the Little Mermaid's Ariel and relative newcomer Wreck-It Ralph, straight out of a Fix-It Felix Jr. machine. The team wanted to empower players to have more control over these team-up attacks. When Ariel jumps into the sky, for example, she creates puddles around the playfield, and at the end of the attack, water fountains spout out of them, so players can create their own in-game water show. The second world I visited was Toy Story, the first Pixar world to ever make an appearance in Kingdom Hearts. This one really put things in perspective. Toy Story was, for a long time, a high bar, the holy grail of visual fidelity for video game tech. While in many ways games are now and have been for some time more visually advanced than the 1995 Pixar classic, nothing really hammers home how far we've come than this is in italics, playing a game that looks exactly like / literally is Toy Story. Right down to the stitching in Woody's jeans or the nicks and dings in Buzz's plastic. After an adorable introduction between Sora and Woody's respective crews, the gang makes their way to Galaxy Toys in search of missing friends. Before long, Sora is piloting toy mechas to take on swaths of well-equipped enemies, hopping into cockpits of fallen foes, and take advantage of their different abilities. Two other thoughts on Toy Story World. It's adorable watching Woody try to make sense of the reality-bending events that transpire in Kingdom Hearts. Poor fella's just so far out of his element, but his optimism never falters. Video game-obsessed Rex talks about being stuck at the Bahamut boss in a game he's working on was a fun touch. While we're at it, here are a few other points of interest revealed during the presentation that preceded our hands-on experience. Yosemite National Park influenced the atmosphere of the Hercules world after co-director Tai Yasui visited there. Wreck-It Ralph was the character they wanted to reveal next month, but then they ended up putting him in this demo. Rapunzel's hair was a challenge to work into the game. She holds it in a bundle with it trailing behind her, interacting with the terrain as she walks around. We saw a fun clip of her using it like a grappling hook to swing around a tree during combat. Kingdom Hearts 3 doesn't have a locked-in release date yet, but Nomura-san revealed during the event that they'll be sharing more information on that front early next month. Until then, I'm going to find some old videos of the Main Street Electrical Parade. So that's a lot. That is a lot to unpack there. First off, props to Justin Massengill from the PlayStation blog on getting all that information. There's a big IGN write-up too from Jonathan Dornbush, the news editor there about it. Massive Kingdom Hearts fan. And he said at one point that if someone told him that he was playing a final build, he would just go along with it and be like, "Yep, that seems right." Just the screenshot. I tweeted a screenshot and said that we're finally alive in an era where video games do have Pixar-like graphics. And during the presentation, it was talked about how Kingdom Hearts never had a dedicated lighting team before, and how they had a dedicated lighting team for Kingdom Hearts 3, and it fucking shows. Like, oh my god, it looks great. It looks so good. Uh, there's, like I said, there's a lot. So we've got Toy Story World, Hercules, and then Tangled was confirmed. Big Hero 6 was confirmed. And then now we're kind of just sitting on our haunches waiting to see what else is there. But also, the release date seems impending, whether that's at a random presentation coming up, or the Square Enix presentation at E3, or the PlayStation conference, whatever. We'll get there. There's a lot. Like, I mean, like I said, it looks great. And it looked so good, and the feedback from it's been so positive that I want to go play Kingdom Hearts. Like, I want to get into the collection and sink in the 70 plus hours that those games are. It's I don't know. It's cool. It looks great. I'm excited for Kingdom Hearts fans, if nothing else. Like, knowing that it's going to be another 2 decades probably before I get to Kingdom Hearts 3. It's exciting to see everyone so excited and that clamoring for it, because even I said at the start of the year that Kingdom Hearts 3 was not getting a 2018 release date, and everybody that played it has walked away going, this game has a 2018 release date. Like, if I had to ballpark it, it's probably like December 2nd, 7th, 14th, or 11th would be my guess. Like, right before Christmas, and right just enough after like Red Dead and the Call of Duty and Battlefield and stuff like that. Because despite the fact that there's crossover between, like, your first person shooter fan and the JRPG fan, like there's some bleed there, but I think keeping that distance is still only going to help Kingdom Hearts, especially if it's like, like a December release or something like that. Like I said, I'm excited to see more. Like I said, I love Disney. I love so many Disney properties. I'm a big Winnie the Pooh guy, a lot. But I love Tangled, so kind of seeing that world would be really cool. There's a lot. It looks so good. Like, it looks absurdly good. The attractions seem like a really awesome inclusion into the series, really kind of honing more in on the Disney-ness of everything. I don't think we're going to get the Marvel or Star Wars worlds that people are clamoring for, or anything like that. Or, once those purchases were made by Disney, everyone's like, "Ooh, Kingdom Hearts." And slow down, hold your horses and what have you. I think we're one game at least away from that, and God knows how long that'll be, and what other properties Disney will own by then. But I don't know, something to keep your eyes out for, because the Kingdom Hearts 3 release date's coming soon, and apparently it is this year, as if there wasn't already enough titles coming out this year for us to, kicking a damn hornet's nest we are with these games. This has been a hell of a year. We talked so much about how great 2017 was, did not factor in how great 2018 was going to be, and probably how great 2019 is going to be eventually too, because that's starting to look real loaded. I had said something kind of came across the wire a little late. This also comes by way of Mr. Massengill from the PlayStation blog. So this is anybody can make a game in dreams. No, really. Our hands-on session with Media Molecules and possibly ambitious new project only barely scratched the surface of what it's capable of. Dreams, the mysterious new project from Little Big Planet creators Media Molecule, has been the subject of much speculation and head-scratching since it made its nebulous, untitled first appearance at the PS4 reveal event way back in 2013. What the heck is this thing? Is it a game? Is it a creative tool? How flexible is it? How do you play? What is this? After an all-too-brief 45-minute demo with creative director Mark Healy, I finally understand. The answer. Dreams is a fully featured game creation engine that nobody with a PS4 and a copy of the game will be able to dive straight into. No game dev experience, is a fully featured game creation engine that anybody with a PS4 and a copy of the game will be able to dive straight into. No game dev experience required. Blurred the lines there. I say all too brief because it turns out 45 minutes just isn't enough time to really even scratch the surface of what Media Molecule's ambitious, incredibly new experience is capable of. Often, when something is said to be accessible, that can mean limited in some way. What Media Molecule has done here is truly impressive. Just about any aspect of game creation is included in the creative toolkit at the core of Dreams, and rather than saying, oh, it's just a more limited version of game engines that are on the market today, what they've done is approach the creative process from a different perspective altogether. In Dreams, navigating your canvas, which is really just a huge open space, is a breeze. Thanks to motion sensors inside DualShock 4, I use the controller as a sort of laser pointer, moving my imp, the customizable fuzzy little critters who act as your cursor, around the screen to grab objects with the R2 trigger. Holding R1 anchors your viewpoint to an object, letting you then move your controller to swing your viewpoint around whatever you're latched onto. Hold L1, nicknamed the Shift key by Healy, and move an item to duplicate it. Rotate your controller to rotate the object, or change its size using the D-pad. It's all very intuitive. Dream supports PlayStation VR as well, so existing or aspiring creators can work truly or inside a truly three-dimensional canvas. We haven't seen that in person yet, but it boasts enormous promise. Media Molecule has always been a studio whose goal is to empower creators, and Dreams fulfills that idea in a way nothing before it has ever attempted. That was always the plan, explained studio director Siobhan Reddy when asked about Dream's full-fledged story campaign, which Media Molecule built completely within the game itself using the exact same tools players will have access to when Dream ships. In order to make a games making tool, you need to make a game, end quote. So this goes on. I'm not going to read the whole thing to you because there's a lot to read this week. This one's no different. So check that on the PlayStation blog. A few things to note is that one, it's PlayStation VR support, so that's cool. I think that's, if there's ever a game that's gonna really like push more VR units, I think Dreams is gonna do it. The other thing is I literally just talked into a can. Is Media Molecule tweeted, "We look forward to showing you more of Dreams this year at E3," meaning that those that got their panties in a bunch or their crotch in a wad about only 4 games being shown or 4 games being the focus of PlayStation's E3 conference or presentation just need to calm the fuck down, because there's more than 4 games. There's at least 5. Counting Days Gone, there's probably 6. Not to mention the AAA stuff, your indie games, and the like. But we're seeing Dreams at E3. They did say at the end here that no word on a release date just yet, but Media Molecule has confirmed there will be a beta for Dreams happening later this year. Stay tuned for more updates as we're ready to share them. In the meantime, feel free to start sketching out your debut game ideas. The thing from Dreams I think I would focus on if you're looking to really like get into the weeds besides Justin's story on the blog would be their presentation at Tokyo Game Show and all the litany of media that came out surrounding that afterwards. That was enough that when I did my top 12, I think it was, like games I was most anticipating for this year, I'd moved Dreams to number 3. Just because the creativity, the intuitiveness and everything, and how easy everything sounded. There was stuff I know with IGN where they did interviews and someone was like, "Oh, can I do this in the game?" And they're like, "Yeah, and here's how." And it wasn't like a No Man's Sky situation where you had Sean Murray just saying, like, sycophantically saying yes to like, "Oh, can I do this? Yeah. Can I do this? Yeah. Can I do this? Yeah." This was, "Yeah, and here's how." They answered the how and not just, the question. So Dreams seems super ambitious, and given the fact that this has been 5+ years in the making, and the fact that the campaign for the game was made within the game is telling of what you're capable of in the upcoming title. So looking forward to the beta. I have ideas. I'm going to save them for the E3 prediction show here in a week and a half, 2 weeks. 2 weeks, I think. Save that for then. But I don't want to, I don't want to give you I don't want to not give you a reason to listen 2 weeks from now, right? What would be the point? So check out that article on the PlayStation blog about Dreams. It seems remarkable. And take a look at the Tokyo Game Show stuff, or was it Paris Games Week? Information that came out from there too. On the topic of reveals, Black Ops 4 had their big old media event. This also, PlayStation blog. They're killing it. Let's see. Dan and Mark from Treyarch here. On behalf of the entire team, we'd like to thank you for being part of today's community reveal. So they at this reveal, I'm not gonna read. You can read it. I'm gonna get through just the meat and potatoes of this thing. They focused on a couple of pillars here. There's multiplayer, of course, zombies, and then Blackout. So the few things that it's not having. There's no narrative campaign at the start. So if you're wondering if there's no campaign, why are they? Oh my God, excuse me. Why are they calling it Black Ops? They said that the campaign will not be in at launch, kind of implying that a campaign could be added as DLC or down the road as additional content in some capacity. So the big focuses were the multiplayer, which the way they described it, there's various specialists, so it kind of has like a hero shooter feel where you have like the mech, or not the mech, the healer, and like more like a tank guy. So let's see here. Specialists unique in themselves, their abilities can be creatively combined for explosive gameplay that is unlike anything Call of Duty has ever seen. Be a badass on your own or join a team and achieve more together than you ever could alone, all to suit your playstyle. Additionally, Black Ops 4 delivers more character depth than ever before in the multiplayer universe, allowing new and returning players the ability to learn and master each of the specialists and solo missions. These missions feature a series of fast-paced trials that give a hands-on introduction to the new and returning specialist while sharing information about their identities and backgrounds inside of a Black Ops narrative. So that was one thing that I said is there's no traditional campaign. They're weaving narrative throughout the modes. So I did like a big old like tweet storm about this thing while it was going on, and I said it kind of felt really hodgepodge, like a slapdashed quilt that was just haphazardly put together. I didn't feel like there was any connective tissue between multiplayer and zombies and Blackout, and those two modes we'll get to in a second. Just nothing about it felt like something that it felt like it was made in a boardroom. It felt like it was just like, oh, how about we just take from this game and we take from this game and we take from this game and we call Black Ops. And somebody was like, you got it. That's print it. It's done. Zombies mode. So celebrating the 10-year anniversary of Call of Duty Zombies, we're going all out and delivering the biggest launch day offering with 3 full zombies experiences: 9, Voyage of Despair, and Blood of the Dead. So 9 looked cool. It looked like the fighting pits of Marine in Game of Thrones. It's like a Coliseum brawler. That was kind of neat. Voyage of Despair was zombies on the Titanic, and Blood of the Dead they didn't really show anything of. It was just like a quick like little teaser FMV. There wasn't any like gameplay or anything like that. Let's see. Call of Duty Black Ops 4 Zombies will feature the deep gameplay and Easter eggs that its rabid community of fans have come to expect. So, to the surprise of no one, the last thing revealed was Blackout mode, which is their Battle Royale mode. So, I'm going to read this one full on verbatim just because, I love you and reading's fun. Blackout combines the signature Black Ops combat, characters, weapons, gadgets, equipment, and locations with the largest map by an order of magnitude in Call of Duty history. They said it was 1,500 times larger than Nuketown. With its smooth, fluid combat, players will insert themselves into the action, scavenge, strategize, and compete against others with the ultimate goal of being the final survivor. Played solo or with teams, players will engage in combat complete with air, ground, and water vehicles in a mode that's all about Black Ops and unlike anything else. With Black Ops 4, we designed a game that gives you more ways to have fun with your friends than anything we've ever created, and on October 12th, 2018, Call of Duty Black Ops 4 launches, and we can't wait to share it with you. So, information that's absent from Blackout mode is how many players on the map at once. We don't know if this is 1v100, if this is going to be 1 on 50. Given the size of the map, it seems like it's conducive for 100, but not 100% sure. But so the selling points of this, right, is we talked in episode 5, was it? About whether or not I felt the Battle Royale genre, as it were, was already getting too crowded. and how, someone was going to steal some of the market share. And I think Fortnite already is too established. It's got its hooks. It's got, it's leading the charge. It's pulling the train. Everything else is caboosing behind, King Train Fortnite here. That's what the front of the train is called, right? It's the King train. But what Black Ops can lean into, and that they are leaning into, is its lineage, its characters, its weapons, its gadgets, its equipment. They said, the map is pieces of other like history of Black Ops. It's like a big old hairy tribute to the Black Ops franchise. I think it's one of the reasons why they're getting away with calling this Black Ops 4. It's so you're getting like locations back, you're getting gadgets back, you're getting weapons back, characters back, and then the inclusion of land, air, and water vehicles, that's cool. Like the idea that you can kind of like mix and match your vehicles there. It's enough to set it apart, and it's enough to kind of survive on history and lineage and pedigree alone. But I think the best it's going to do is pull from PlayerUnknown's Battleground. It might lure some of those players away, and it might lure some of Fortnite people away, but I think the Fortnite people are dedicated. I think Epic really has just this license to print money continually. And I mean, it is the zeitgeist right now, right? Like every mainstream rapper is playing Fortnite. You've got NFL players playing Fortnite. You've got NBA players playing Fortnite. If you talk to anybody like, oh, you talk to any athlete, like, what's going on after the game? It's storming. You may hear that. There's a storm going on. Let's hope the power holds up. It's starting to rain real good here. They ask athletes, like, what's the environment back in the locker room? Like, oh, we just play Fortnite. Oh, I want to go home and play Fortnite. That's the game on everybody's tongue. And whether the blackout mode can, pull on that at all, we'll see. But I don't know. This just seems kind of, like I said, it seems like a game that was made in a boardroom. It seems like it's just a lot of people throwing some buzzwords together, tagging boots on the ground at the end of it, and then going, well, look, we've got Battle Royale too. I know I talked about it at one point in an older episode, and I talked about it again when I guest appeared on the broadcast last Tuesday, which is available on YouTube. That if Ubisoft gets into it, because I think we're going to see that at E3, like Ubisoft's going to slip in with like the Division 2, whether it's like a DZ Battle Royale kind of mode, or whether it's something we see in Siege or in a later Splinter Cell or something like that. I don't know, but I think Ubi's going to get involved. Activision's getting involved, and I think EA is going to get involved with Battlefield, which we're going to have revealed here. If you're listening to this on Tuesday, there's a reveal coming on Wednesday, the 23rd. If it's the 24th, you missed it and you can find it. But that's that. So there's a chance that DLC down the line, because I think EA and DICE have already said like they're test driving a battle royale mode for Battlefield, but it's not quite ready yet. So that could be something that's included later with Battlefield 5 down the road. But we'll see. Like I said, I kind of feel like on both the older episode and on the broadcast, I kind of feel like it's like when your parents start to like something and it stops being cool. Fortnite really has that whole like free to play like niche, and it's easily accessible. There's not a barrier to entry. So I don't know. I don't know if Black Ops is gonna. I think it's still gonna sell. I think come January when I'm doing this still, fingers crossed. Subscribe, help me out, keep this going. I think come January when we're talking about the most downloaded PSN games, I think Black Ops 4 is probably going to be up there. I'd be surprised if it wasn't. But same could probably go for Battlefield 2. We'll see. But that's it for the news. But before we get into the new games and dates, I want to remind you that this episode of the PlayStation Forecast is brought to you by Sudio. At Sudio, we want to revolutionize the way people see headphones as not just a tech device, but also an accessory. Currently, the headphones market can only offer you one of two things: style or tech. Fashionable headphones tend to lack the proper sound quality, and high-tech variations are bulky and not design-oriented. We want to bridge that gap. While emphasizing our modern Scandinavian design, we also provide a product that matches the quality of even the highest-rated headphones on the market for a fraction of the cost. So Sudio reached out to me. They sent me. I got them laying around here. They sent me their Regent headphones. I'm an over ear headphone guy. So they sent me these guys. When it comes to tech, I know it's an ad. But when it comes to like earphone stuff like that, I'm not a big guy into like garish branding. So this is super like minimalistic. I really like that. I would rather people not know what brand of headphones I'm wearing. It's just I'm weird like that. It's the same as like I don't like really like garish, ostentatious Star Wars shirts just because I like Star Wars. You know, you get it. You like that minimalist nature. They sent me the Regents. I have absolutely no qualms with these things. I like the minimalistic design. The sound quality is good. They're comfortable. The nice thing is if I'm doing a show like this, or you'll probably see them in a later Let's Play, I can output the stuff. It's wired. If you don't want it wired, well, bam, you got a Bluetooth headphone set there. So if you go to Sudio.com and enter the discount code PlayStation or click the link in the episode description on YouTube or your podcast service, you will get 15% off your order plus free worldwide shipping. That's Sudio.com, keyword PlayStation, or discount code, not keyword. What is this, AOL? Go to Sudio.com, discount code PlayStation for 15% off your order and free worldwide shipping. Sudio, designing sound. All right, new games and dates. Just mainly delays, if really is all we got. New games announced. If you have Rec Room for PSVR, you got DLC coming called Rec Royale. That's coming June 7th. It's a 16-person VR battle royale game for Rec Room. Rage 2 was announced. That is coming, published by Bethesda. It's being developed in a collaboration with id Software and Avalanche. I'm going to touch on that here in a minute. Shenmue 3 was pushed to 2019. Indivisible was pushed to 2019. Skull and Bones was pushed somewhere between 2019 and 2020. And Metro Exodus was pushed to 2019. So with Rage 2, I didn't get into like the news with this or anything like that because it kind of came out really between episodes. So there wasn't a whole lot for me to like. By the time I kind of got to it, it's old news, and it wasn't news last week because it hadn't happened yet. It was all just speculation because of Walmart Canada. But Bethesda confirmed Rage 2. I had said on Twitter at twitter.com/pressxtoalex, if you want to follow me and not miss this stuff, that it looks like they skipped Road Warrior and just went straight to Beyond Thunderdome. Which then at that time I did not know it was being co-developed by Avalanche, who made the Mad Max games. So that made all the sense in the world. It looks exactly like what you would expect from id Software co-developing a game with Avalanche. So that's kind of cool. Like when they're like, it's in Avalanche, I'm like, I can tell. It's very different from Rage of old, you know. I'm surprised we're even getting a sequel to Rage, to be honest. But it's a lot more brighter colors, a lot of pinks, a lot of neon colors being used, and everything. So it's exciting, I guess. It comes out in 2019. There's a gameplay trailer. I missed Rage altogether. I was kind of hoping that like a remastered version of Rage would maybe come as like a pre-order bonus, so I could maybe pick up what I missed. But right now does not seem to be the case. I'm sure we'll see more in Bethesda's conference here at E3 and June 11th? June 11th? The 20 days away? I think it's June 11th. EA is the 10th. I think Bethesda's the 11th. PlayStation's also the 11th. I don't know. E3. We'll probably see more. Bethesda's saying they got the biggest, their biggest at least conference ever. So I'm sure they got plenty to announce. Rage 2 being one of them, not really announced, but show more of. I don't know. It seems like something. I talked to somebody, a friend of mine on Twitter, and I had said that he had been really hoping for a Borderlands 3 announcement. I said this may just tick the boxes minus the the grind and the loot and the collection and stuff like that. But in terms of the world and the style, the whole trailer is powered by Andrew WK, who I can't believe has made an entire career putting new lyrics to the same medley since like 2003. But that's that for Rage 2. Check that out. If you were a Rage fan and you were hoping for a sequel and you didn't know that they announced a sequel, Rage 2 is coming out, and it's coming out in 2019. But that's everything that's coming out soon. If you want to know what is coming out this week, I got it for you. So let's do the drop. Seven Scarlet 7 apostrophe S capital C Arlet. Seven's Carlet is coming to PS Vita digital out May 25th. The remote town of Akunezado is shaped like a crescent moon and shrouded in dark myths and legends. Take on the role of a brave young woman journeying into the unknown to uncover dangerous truths and locate her missing brother with her childhood friend. Bloodstained, Curse of the Moon comes to PS4 and PS Vita digital out May 24th. Battle with swords and whips in this retro-style action game brought to you by game creator Koji Igarashi and Inti Creatus. Inti Creates. Oh my god. Whew! Inti Creates. Battle with swords and whips in this retro-style action game brought to you by game creator Koji Igarashi and Inti Creates. So it's basically a Castlevania game. Dark Souls Remastered comes to PlayStation 4 digital and retail out May 25th. Then there was Fire. Re-experience the critically acclaimed genre-defining game that started it all. Beautifully remastered, return to Lordran in stunning high-definition detail, running at 60 frames per second. Let's see, that's got lines through it. That's crossed out. Detroit Become Human comes to PS4 digital and retail out May 25th. Detroit Become Human is the latest title in development by Quantic Dream that expands on the studio's legacy of gripping, narrative-driven adventures. Discover what it really means to be human in a powerful emotional journey made of choice and consequence. Disco Dodgeball Remix comes to PS4 digital. Disco Dodgeball Remix is a ridiculous physics-based future sport combining robots, one-hit kill projectile combat, and crazy dodgeball action. Dungeon Rushers comes to PS4 digital out May 25th. Dungeon Rushers is a 2D tactical RPG combining dungeon crawlers gameplay and turn-based fights. Everspace comes to PS4 digital. Everspace is an action-focused single-player space shooter combining roguelike elements with top-notch visuals and a captivating non-linear story. Gorogoa comes to PS4 digital. Gorogoa is an elegant evolution of the puzzle genre told through a beautifully hand-drawn story designed and illustrated by Jason Roberts. H1Z1 Battle Royale comes to PS4 digital. H1Z1 Battle Royale is a pure, fast-paced battle royale shooter reimagined and built for console. I Hate Running Backwards comes to PS4 digital. I Hate Running Backwards is a never-ending adrenaline-packed shoot-'em-down roguelike that puts the emphasis on destruction and fighting never-ending waves of enemies while time-traveling through procedurally generated, fully destructible worlds. One Piece Grand Cruise comes to PSVR digital. Come aboard and experience the pirate's life and One Piece Grand Cruise for PSVR. Be prepared to be swept away in the first One Piece VR experience. Pixel Junk Monsters 2 comes to PS4 digital out May 25th. Get ready to experience the next generation of real-time tower defense gameplay in the globally acclaimed Pixel Junk Monsters series. Shio comes to PS4 digital. Shio, S-H-I-O, PS4 digital. Shio isn't your typical platformer. Floating lanterns aren't just decorations. Their purpose is to help you explore the world of Shio. Jumping from lantern to lantern should be easy. No, wrong. You'll need to harness the best of your wits and dexterity to navigate through the world. Space Hulk Deathwing Enhanced Edition comes to PS4 digital and retail. Space Hulk Deathwing Enhanced Edition is set in the Warhammer 40,000 universe. Expanding upon the original game and featuring a host of new content, it is the ultimate Space Hulk Deathwing experience. I think that's going to get the What is the Game award for this week. Stardew Valley comes to PS Vita digital cross-buy. You've inherited your grandfather's old farm plot in Stardew Valley. Armed with hand-me-down tools and a few coins, you set out to begin your new life. Can you learn to live off the land and turn these overgrown fields into a thriving home? Super Hyperactive Ninja comes to PS4 digital. Super Hyperactive Ninja is a fast-paced, hyper-caffeinated action platformer in 2D, designed with those who want a real tough challenge and speedrunners in mind. Tennis World Tour comes to PS4 digital. Play as one of the 30 best tennis players in the world: Roger Federer, Angelique Kerber, Stan Wawrinka, and many of the sports legends. And that is your releases for the week of May 22nd. So before we wrap up, let's see what trophies we have. Let's see. Dark Souls Remastered has 18 bronze, 20 silver, 2 gold, and a platinum. Let's see. Reach the Link of Fire ending. Reach the Dark Lord ending. Acquire all rare weapons. Acquire all sorceries. Acquire all pyromancies. Acquire all miracles. Discover Way of Right Covenant. Discover Chaos Servant Covenant. So it's discovery. Acquire best weapon through fire. Weapon through occult. Weapon through divine. Let's see. Acquire the Right of the Kindling. Defeat the 4 kings, inheritors of souls. So it's a lot of collection. Basically just do everything. Get you that platinum. Like a good trophy list for those that like the Souls games, or the Soulsborne as they are sometimes referred to as a collective Voltron of genre. NBA Playgrounds 2 has 9 bronze, 3 silver, 1 gold. What the fuck? Get a platinum. You missed it with Playgrounds. Why wouldn't you do it with Playgrounds? It's not hard. It can't be that difficult. I don't get it. Also, I reached out to the developers of Animal Super Squad and Trailblazers about why they don't have a platinum. Did not hear anything back. I'm gonna fucking, you bet your ass I'm gonna do the same here with NBA Playgrounds 2. Suit up a player with 1 vanity team. Buy 1 pack of any kind. Score 20 self alley-oops. Buy 25 packs of any kind. Reach the playoffs in NBA season for the first time. Win NBA season for the first time. Improve 1 legendary player to gold level. Reach user level 50. Score 33 or more points in a single round of a 3-point contest. Win NBA season on NBA difficult. What needed to be added here? You got 13 trophies. What's another like 4? 17 gets people platinums. I bet I can find something on here with 17 goddamn trophies that has a fucking platinum trophy. Give me like, there's 19 trophies. 12. Gorogoa. 12. Did I do Gorogoa trophies for last week? We'll touch on them again. 11 gold and a platinum. I think I did. 11 gold and a platinum for Gorogoa. 12 trophies. Get you a platinum. Doesn't make any goddamn sense. Animal Super Squad had 17 trophies, and I'm not going to bang that drum again. Playgrounds 2. Come on. This was your second chance, and you didn't do it. Vampire has trophies out now. Vampire is from Don't Nod. This is their follow-up. This is their first game since Life is Strange. Let's see here. Vampire has 6 bronze, 7 silver, 5 gold, and 1 platinum. Let's see. Seems like some story-related stuff. Eat 10 rats. That's interesting. Gather all the collectibles. Heal 10 citizens. Let's see. There was one on here. Yeah, finish the game without killing any citizens. Turn all districts to hostile status. I don't know if this is going to be a multiple playthrough thing. The trophies lend itself to possibly, but I don't know. Also, there's another trophy in true. Well, this one wasn't a trophy in Life is Strange, but in true Don't Nod fashion, water your fucking plants. It was a choice in Life is Strange. This time it's a trophy in Vampire. That really looks like all the trophies that are worth talking about this week. So with that being said, this has been episode 9 of the PlayStation Forecast. Thank you for joining me for another week. If this is your first week, welcome. I hope you enjoyed it. Please check out the YouTube channel. Check out the other episodes of the podcast. For those of you that have been with me since day 1, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, it does not matter. Thank you so much for ingesting and consuming this content that I love putting in and week out for you all. If you like what you hear and you want to get involved, you can write into the show at psforms.pressxtoalex.com with your questions, comments, concerns, news, or dissenting opinions. I would love to talk to you. So you could follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/pressxtoalex. And if you want to support the show, the best thing you can do is click the subscribe button on YouTube. Help me get a short URL so I can stop redirecting it. All these links, all my social media, the YouTube channel, anything is going to be in the episode description on your podcast service. And if you're watching it on YouTube and you found this organically, thank you so much. I hope you stick around. Be sure to come back every Monday at 9 a.m. for Monday morning Let's Plays. And until next week, take care of your backlog. And I love you.